when to cut back hostas in fall, how far to cut them back, and should you mulch, all in today's video. Hi, my name is Elizabeth. Welcome to my channel. It is a beautiful fall day here in New Brunswick, and today I'm out in the back underneath my pine trees, and I'm going to prune back my hostas. I'm really hoping the microphone is picking up the sound of the wind through the pine trees. I absolutely love that sound, and it is a good windy day. So let's get started. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with some clean shears. Now, I've got my shears with me, and I clean them every time I use them, and that way when I go to the next time, they're ready, and I'm not going to be transferring any diseases from one plant to the other. So let's get started. There isn't a lot of sun back here, and as I said, they're under the pine tree, so there's a lot of pine needles back here. I didn't do anything with these last year. I was just settling into the house and I just left them and they seem to do okay. I'm not a big fan of hostas, these spindly things, but I've since discovered that they can be pruned out once the flowers are gone. So I think if I give them some love, I might actually get some new growth next year because it stayed pretty small this year. As you can see, the leaves are brown and wilted, which is the time that you're going to cut them back. I see a few green ones hiding underneath, but for the most part these are done. And I'm cutting them right back to the ground. Since I didn't cut them back next year, I might actually get to see how big this is in here. I didn't really see it last year. Wow, there are so many pine needles in here, it is hard to tell what's going on. There's a couple of reasons why you would want to prune back the hostas, and one is the damp leaves can harbor mildew. You can see some growing on a leaf here or a stalk here, and you don't really want that. I've had problems with mildew in my garden this year. The other reason is slugs keep them out. That alone is enough for me to want to prune back. Slugs are not my favorite creature in the world. And the other is that it just looks neat and tidy. And I'm sort of, after doing my peonies, I'm kind of liking the look of a nicely mulched garden in the fall. All the pine needles here already, it's pretty well mulched. But I'll get the old pine needles out. But I'll add some new pine needles. Or I'll add more. There's still some on the ground and I have some in the garage. There's some weeds in here as well, and this is a really good opportunity to get rid of them. It's such a jungle back here when the hostas are growing, and it's really hard to weed, so I'm going to take this opportunity to also weed out the of the area. So there they've all been cut back. Those two little spindly twigs back there are, or three, they're golden currants, I believe. Something that I would like to move. I don't think this is the best place for them, but not right now. So at least I now know where the hostas are, where they're growing from. They probably should be divided, and I'm going to look at doing that in the spring before the black flies and the mosquitoes come out. Looks like I've got 4 or 5 clumps. So I'm just going to rake up some more pine needles off the grass and cover them up, because in some cases I can see a lot of the plant coming through and they should be protected for winter. So I didn't put a lot of mulch down, a minimal amount, just enough to cover the plants that were exposed and help moderate the soil temperature. There is some sun coming in here because it's so low on the horizon, so it'll just help moderate the soil temperature and make sure there isn't any frost heave. So that's it for the hostas. The mulch that I put on, I will remove in spring, and at that time I will also thin them. It's a fairly large area, but there are clumps, and heaven knows when they were last divided. So I will do that in the spring. So that's it for the third of my series on pruning back my perennials. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And I would just love it if you would subscribe and join our community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.